that we will be doing a mandatory evacuation, and I'm going to read the evacuation order to the public.
What about the prisoners in the jail right now? Will they just simply stay in the jail?
Sheriff?
Yeah, we have backup generators to accommodate any power loss. Excuse me, Governor. We have backup generators. We're fully staffed. We're under our emergency operations plan. So we're only and we've been working with the police department. So we're going to keep our prisoners where they belong.
And Mayor, have you driven around the city? Have you gotten any?
I'm Jaeda Davis from New Orleans, born and raised, 40 years old, and I worked at the prison as a deputy sheriff for about 7 years before the storm started. During day one, the family members that were with me was my two kids, who were at the time 7 and 9, my sister. My sister has a special needs daughter, and she's not really capable of talking, expressing herself, feeding herself, dressing herself, and this situation would not have been ideal for a special needs person.
Was that hard?
What was going through my head during the time? It was still kind of fun to me because I love craziness sometimes. Just, it's fun to, because I know I'm going to get through it, because I'm like Superwoman to a lot of my family members. So, oh, we got this. It's not a big deal. The water's going to go down. We're going to get another car. We can replace that. It's no biggie. I was still just like optimistic. No biggie. You know, some of my family members were a little afraid because now we don't know what is our house looking like, you know, what's going to happen from this point. But it wasn't anything that I felt like we couldn't handle at that point. I started off at home and trying to make the decision on whether or not I should go in. There's this thing with sheriff department, if you don't go in, you lose your job. So I was at home trying to make a decision on whether I should go and what I would do with my kids if I did go. Made the decision to just leave, and that did not happen like I thought it would. Had another family member stuck and couldn't leave, and I couldn't afford to take her and her family. So I just said, well, everybody, let's just go into the jail and I can keep my job and everybody will be safe. That didn't happen like I thought it would. I was actually recovering from a party the night before, so I was definitely not prepared. I hadn't been watching the news, and we got up and saw what was happening, and I saw the weather report, and I got concerned because it looked huge coming our way. We hadn't been called in yet to come to work. So I was like, well, maybe we ought to just start packing up so we can go ahead on and go to Atlanta or something. Well, a family member called and she just said she didn't have anywhere to go. We packed up and decided to go to the jail after they gave us a call and said we were ordered to come in. I was like, I need to keep my job probably. And we just started packing up stuff, buying food to take to the prison, and trying to figure out where we would lay our heads once we get there, because I was with a nice group of people. My two kids and my sister and two of her kids. One of her kids was a special child, and my best friend. So it was a lot of people that I was responsible for. But I had a big office at the prison, so it should have been pretty comfortable. And we had a curfew for 6 p.m., and we all got in the car and started heading there around 5. Parked on a nice high area where I didn't think the water would get to if we did have a little flood, and went on into the prison and unpacked and just got ready for a hurricane party. Well, once we got into the prison, we were separated from our families because we actually had to get to work. So we started getting the inmates together, letting them know what was going on. Everybody was going into lockdown, and we started getting alerts that it was coming through. And we put some extra security up on the doors. And my office was actually on the 6th floor, so I was there was 6 floors between myself and the ground, and all inmates in between. So, and I was the only office that was on that floor. So I made sure my family was safe, and we started getting things together, and we found out we didn't have any food. The sheriff hadn't ordered anything for us to be able to eat, but luckily I went to the store and got some stuff, prepared. And we went to bed. I guess it was the night of around 11 o'clock. And the captain came up to my office, and he was like, "I need to speak with you." And he told me that the inmates were breaking out, and they weren't sure how long they would be able to hold them. But for now, I was okay. And he'll let us know if we needed to move on downstairs. What it actually happened the next morning, like about maybe 9, 10 o'clock, the captain came back up all of those flights of stairs and came and pulled me into the hallway and said, "You need to get your family out of here now because the inmates have broken out and the deputies have left their post." So we had to be quiet because we were in the stairwell that only a door was separating us from the inmates. I didn't let my family know that they were loose because I didn't want anybody to panic. And I just told them we just had to be very quiet going down. So we went down all the flights and got down to the bottom, and we saw that the water was so high, it had to be 15 feet at the time. There was no getting out of there. So that's when we knew it was no longer a hurricane party, but we were going to be here for a while.